Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. It is your boy Shad, and today we have a pretty interesting video, I would say. Today we're going to be talking about and predicting, or at least trying to, the entire Denver Nuggets season. I wanted to have a document, like just as a fan and as an unbiased basketball analyst, I wanted to see how accurate I could be and if I could leave my bias for my favorite team at home. Going through and doing all the work and the research and the predicting and stuff, I think I did a pretty good job. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. Here are the 7 things we will be covering in this video today. I want to see your thoughts on this. I want to see your predictions, even if you're not a Nuggets fan. I want to see how you think the champs are going to do this season. Let me know what you think about it. I want to see your season record prediction, your playoff prediction, and any season awards you think the Nuggets players are going to get. So can't wait to see you down there. Let's get into this first section. I know this intro was a little bit longer. The start of the season through the December 31st record and then through to the All-Star break. Let's get it. From October 24th through December 31st, there will be 32 games played for the Nuggets, and as I went through and did the win-loss for every one of them, I came up with a record of 23-9, which is not far off than what it was last season at 24-12. I think we're gonna beat LA to start the season. It's ring night. It's good. The endorphins gonna be running. You're gonna be feeling good. It's a home crowd. It's just set up for us to win. I think we're gonna win our first 3 straight, and then I think we're gonna lose to Utah because we, for some reason, like losing to Utah really early in the year. Last season, it was the first game of the year that we lost to them. So there are a lot of 4-game win streaks here. I think that this team will not drop more than 2 or 3 games in a row for the entire season. I think Jamal Murray is going to be gunning for that All-NBA or All-Star selection. So I think he's going to want to come out of the gates pretty hot. I genuinely do think that the Nuggets are going to come out as the hottest team in the league. I think just off the back of a championship, tasting that and wanting to get back to that status, like they're gonna have a target on their back. They love the underdog narrative. It just plays into the level I think they're gonna play at, is what I'm trying to say. From January 1st to the All-Star break, there will be 21 games, and I think we'll go 14-7 in this span. So that'll give us a up to All-Star break record of 39-16. That is my official prediction. Last season, it was 41-18, so not too far off. I think it'll be a lot similar of a season. I think there will be a lot of time to adjust to the new bench and the new staggers that we get and how we're gonna use players together and stuff. So I think we'll drop a couple more games than we did last season, but ultimately, I think we'll be around the same. This does account for the 2 tournament games that will be played, I believe, on December 4th and December 6th. I think they will be played. And because the Nuggets group is so mid, I think they have the Rockets and the Mavs and the Pelicans and one other team I can't remember right now. It's a very mid group, and I think the Nuggets are going to beat everybody in their group, so it's whatever. Now, at the All-Star break, I do think we'll have a couple more representatives for the Nuggets. I do think KCP will finally get his 3-point contest invitation. I do think that Jamal, again, I talked about him, coming back with it. He's in a contract year. There's an extension available for him if he makes All-NBA. There'll be more eyes on the Nuggets, so Jamal Murray's play is going to get boosted even more. And with him coming out of the gate fast and strong, he's going to lead to his first All-Star selection. And I'm going to be really happy when it happens because Damian Lillard's not in the Western Conference anymore. There is a guard spot open in the West. And then Jokic is pretty standard. Obviously, he's going to be an All-Star as well. So that's pretty much it. And then what do they do, the Rising Stars game anyway? I can't remember if it's Rising Stars or if it's I just looked it up and they do still have the Rising Stars game. So I actually forgot to put that in. We're going to do it live right now. I think that Christian Brown is going to be a rookie versus sophomore player. And I think there is a slight chance that Peyton Watson is, because they are our bench, and with a team that's going to be in talks for first in the West and coming off a championship, the more media eyes, yada yada, we'll see a lot more of the Denver Nuggets players being boosted in media. I think Christian Brown and Peyton Watson are going to benefit from that. As far as trade deadline goes, I don't think there'll be much activity. I just don't feel that there's any substantial moves that you could make outside of maybe trading a couple of our outside pieces for an established vet, but that would have to be a really lucky scenario. I just don't see that situation coming up this season. So I don't see much activity happening, and I don't see why they would make any changes. So we can move on from this one. The post All-Star break record, there will be 27 games from after the All-Star break to the end of the season. I think we're going to go 17-10. I think, again, they got a taste of the winning formula, and part of that winning formula included coasting at the end of the season, which unfortunately also included a 5-game losing streak. I didn't Look, I put 3 toward the end of the season. I don't think they're going to lose 5 games in a row anymore. I do ultimately think, though, that they're going to take their foot off the pedal and kind of coast into that 1 or 2 seed that they lock up fairly early in the season. That brings a total record of 54-28. It is 1 game off of what they did last season, and I think this is a team of consistency. As much as I would love to say, hey, I'm going to put down 60 wins, I would love to. I'm not going to do it, but I would love to. I just don't see 60 wins in the cards this season. For our season awards, I'm going to say that Jokic is going to make an all-star team. He's going to make all-NBA first team, and he's going to finish either second or third in MVP voting this season. I think they're done trying to give him the MVP, and even though his stats will be still good, like we'll talk about it in a second because there's a whole stats prediction category, I just don't think people they don't have it in them anymore to give it to Jokic or give him any sort of like substantial first place push. I think Jamal Murray is going to make an all-star team, and I think he is going to be in third team All-NBA talks. So it's going to be positionless. Is Jamal Murray going to be able to beat out the forwards and the bigs in the West? And I don't want to say yes or no because I do believe in him, and it just depends on how good of a season I think the Nuggets as a whole have. If they stay around this 54-28 record, I think they won't get 2 All-NBA players, but it's unfortunate. I think he'll be in strong talks, though. I do think that there will be real consideration for Jamal Murray as a third-team All-NBAer. I think that Aaron Gordon is going to make an all-defensive second team. Only say that because of the thing I've been saying is that more eyes will be on the Nuggets, and I know AG was regarded as a really good defender by a lot of people last season, but I feel like this time around, it'll start earlier. It'll start with a heavier bias towards him, and as long as he keeps up his level of defense that we saw last season, I think he'll be pretty fine in terms of an all-defensive team chance this season, and I do think he'll make the second team. Some of the notable stats that I think some of the players will have, I think Jokic is finally going to get to that triple-double with Jamal Murray and MPJ both being healthy and having healthy off seasons and being able to work on skill development. I think that Jokic is more than willing to take that back seat for either one of them and give them what they need, and if it's more shots, then it's more shots, and Jokic backs up and he comes in when he needs to. But ultimately, I think he does get the triple-double. I think there will just be less of an onus on him to be the top scorer, which will lead to more efficient shots, and I'm happy about that for him. I think Jamal Murray is going to average 25 points and 7 assists on 46, 39, 90 splits. I think he will be the team's highest scorer this season. I think he'll come out with a different energy, and I think that, we know who Jamal Murray is as a scorer, averaging 32 in the Western Conference Finals on 50, 40, 90, averaging at one point 20 and 10 in the finals. This is a guy who can get it done when and how his team needs him to. I think this season is just, he's going to put it all together, and it's going to be a really strong, 68 to 70 game campaign for him. And I think he's going to put together a 25-7 season that's going to look real good to a lot of people. MPJ, I got averaging 20 points and 8 rebounds on 43% shooting from 3. And I think he'll just have more chances on ball in general that will give him chances to score more. And he's hovered around the 17, 18, 19 points. But I do think this is the year that he jumps up to 20. And then lastly, KCP, I think he's going to shoot just 46% from 3. That's really the last notable one I wanted to do. I think he's going to have another consistent year as our sharpshooter. So I'm happy with that. And last but not least, we have our broad playoff predictions, because I'm going to be real with you. I was not going to try and predict who was going to meet up with us in which round, in how many games. I wasn't doing all that because that would require a lot more predictions for other teams, and I'm tired. Broad-wise, I think the Nuggets do get back to the Western Conference Finals at minimum. I think that is now an expectation, and I think it's an expectation that they can meet for the next several years. I'm very confident in a repeat finals appearance. I do look at the teams like the Suns and the Lakers as deterrents. I think ultimately the Nuggets are a better team than either of them. I truly do think that. I just think that there are chances, to obvious as this sounds, there are chances for the Nuggets to drop a few games to either of these two teams. That being said, though, I do think they have a good matchup against either one of them. So if they meet in the Western Conference Finals, I'm very confident in them getting to the finals. I think that Jamal Murray will win Western Conference Finals MVP if they do make it to the finals. And ultimately, I do think that the Nuggets are going to meet either the Bucks or the Celtics in the finals. And It'll go to 7 games. I wish it was 9, but they'll go to 7 games, and it's going to be a really back and forth series, and it's going to be fun. And ultimately, I'm not going to predict a finals winner. I think they're going to go back to back. I just think that this is such a talented team. You know, I truly think they have the best or second best starting 5 in the NBA, depending on how you feel about the Celtics. And I think it's going to do a lot of damage. I think it's going to carry them a lot and ultimately get them back to the finals to at least 7 games. So let me know what you think. Again, drop your season predictions, drop your playoff predictions, and drop your season award for each player predictions in the comments below. I'll see you down there and talk to you later. Peace out.